Between 1947 and 1956, ancient scrolls and fragments of the Hebrew Bible were discovered in caves near the Dead Sea. These scrolls have been dated to the 1st century BCE and the 1st century CE. The manuscripts discovered in the Dead Sea caves include all of the canonical books of the Hebrew Bible, with the exception of the Book of Esther. Also non-canonical books such as Enoch, Jubilees, Tobit, and Sirach, as well as Psalms that are not part of the 150 Psalms in the canonical Bible. Also sectarian books such as the Community Rule, the War Scroll, the Damascus Document, and Peshers, which are commentaries on the books of the Bible. There are several different theories on the origin of these texts. The predominating theory is that the scrolls were the work of a Jewish sect called the Essenes, who it is believed resided in nearby Qumran, and that the scrolls were hidden away in the caves to protect them from the advancing Roman army. Other theories for the writers of the scrolls include early Messianics. A newer theory is that the scrolls were from various libraries and synagogues in Jerusalem, about 15 miles from the caves. One possible reason for the scrolls' existence within the caves is that they were placed there for safekeeping when the Jews were fleeing Jerusalem from the advancing Romans. Another possible reason is that, according to Jewish law, any work that includes the 4-letter name Yahweh must be buried. It may not be destroyed or discarded. Supporting evidence for this theory is that every book of the Hebrew Bible has been found in the caves, with the exception of the book of Esther, the only book in the Hebrew Bible that does not contain the 4-letter name Yahweh. The most famous of the scrolls and fragments found within the Dead Sea caves is the Isaiah scroll. While most of the scrolls are fragmented, deteriorating, or incomplete, the Isaiah scroll is the only complete scroll found. The life of a scroll depends on its handling and storage, but can be in use by a community for several hundred years. Some Torah scrolls still in use in synagogues today are over 500 years old. The Isaiah scroll from the Dead Sea caves has been dated to around 200 BCE. Isaiah wrote his original scroll around 700 BCE and may have been in use up until around 200 BCE. This means that it is possible for the Isaiah scroll from the Dead Sea caves to be a copy made directly from Isaiah's original scroll. The Isaiah scroll, as well as many other scrolls and fragments from the Dead Sea, are currently stored and on display in Jerusalem at the Shrine of the Book. In a tomb at Ketephinam in Israel, the oldest text of the Hebrew Bible was discovered. The text, inscribed on a silver scroll in the Old Hebrew script, dating to the 7th century BCE, is the Aaronic blessing which begins, Yevarechecha Yahweh Vayishmarecha. Another very old fragment of the Hebrew Bible is the Nash Papyrus, discovered in Egypt in 1898. The fragment includes the 10 Commandments and the Shema and is dated to the 2nd century BCE. Very few ancient texts of the Hebrew Bible have been found and are very rare. That is, until 1947, when the discovery of a depository of scrolls in the Dead Sea caves provided us with a library of ancient manuscripts of the Hebrew Bible. The Hebrew word behind the word Lord, when it is written in all uppercase letters, is 4 Hebrew letters, Yod, He, Vav, and He. and is most often pronounced as Yahweh. Because all Hebrew names are Hebrew words with meaning, the focus on Yahweh should not be its pronunciation but its meaning, as a Hebrew name reflects the character of the individual. This name includes the verb hava, meaning to exist, and the letter yod as a prefix, which means he. He exists. In the ancient Hebrew mind, only that which can be seen or experienced actually exists. When Yahweh was sending Moses back to Egypt, Moses said, "If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' what shall I say to them?" From the Israelites' perspective, Yahweh did not exist, as they had never seen or experienced him. So Yahweh told Moses, "Ehya asher ehya," which can be translated as, "I am the one who exists, because I am the existing one." In Exodus 9:16, Yahweh tells Israel that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. The Hebrew word for name is Shem, and is the root of the word neshama, which means breath. In the ancient Hebrew culture, your breath is more than just the exchange of air in the lungs. It is your character. It is what makes you, you. And as I mentioned previously, all Hebrew names are Hebrew words, and these words reflected the character of that individual. From all of this, we can easily conclude that the Hebrew word Shem means more than just name, it means character. The English word God implies a divine, supernatural being. But the Hebrew word Elohim more literally means one of power and authority, a mighty one. This word is used for the God of Israel as the mighty one who has power and authority over Israel, but also for judges as mighty men who have power and authority over the people, or even the gods of other nations who have power and authority over them. The parent root of this word is El, a picture of an ox head and a shepherd's staff. The ox with its horns represents power, while the staff represents authority.